Alright, now the third attribute we're going to cover is strength. And like speed, there are different types of strength. The type of strength we're looking to get is what we call isometric strength. Like in a sauna, when you touch him and lock up with his arms, selling, sort of feels like an iron band. It feels like you could do a chin-up on his arms. This is the sort of strength. Bruce had this type of strength. It's developed through isometrics. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the gym, and I'm going to discuss all the different types of strength with you and how to get the particular type of strength that's most conducive for what we do. In talking about strength, I want you to know that there are several different types of strength. You have power lifters. Power lifters are good at lifting a lot of weight from a static position. Then you have bodybuilders. Bodybuilders lift about 3/4 of their max over and over again. This is for the aesthetics. We're not interested in that at all. Then you have swimmers, you have wrestlers, you have gymnasts. All of these are different types of strength. Our definition of strength is to be able to move a body from point A to point B. What Bruce found out was the best way to do this was through isometrics. Isometric is a different type of strength. It develops what we call tendon strength. You're what I call a sleeper, which is a person that has an average build but is definitely above average in strength. So in developing isometric strength or tendon strength, we do this through a series of specialized drills. Basically, when you're moving the arm, you're pumping the blood flow into the muscle. This is developing muscular size. Not that there's anything wrong with muscular size, but when you're stopped, this is the isometric. When you're at the isometric position, this is where the pressure is at the joint. And the joint is where tendon connects muscle to bone. This is where isometrics kick in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a series of specialized drills that are formulated just to develop tendon strength. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a principle rather than going through the hundreds of thousands of exercises that you can do to develop the different muscles in your body. And the principle is this. Let's take bench press for example. If you're bench pressing 200 pounds and if you do it 10 times, the first 8 didn't do a whole heck of a lot. They got your blood pumped to the muscle. They'll maybe get you a little bit bigger. The last couple, right when you're at this point here, when you're closer to that isometric stage, the last couple of reps you do are what are going to get you real strong. So the principle of isometrics is very simple. You pick up at that 9 and 10 point on the bench press. So basically you do not move. So if you wanted to develop the same muscles that you were in a bench press, you would go up against the wall and you would push. And you're pushing here as hard as you can for a series of about 10 seconds. 10 seconds is all you need with isometrics. So the bottom line is this. Any exercise you want to develop or any muscle you want to develop, you just basically put yourself in the position to where you cannot move. Let's say, for example, you want to develop your jab. If you want to develop your jab, that's basically your tricep and your shoulder. You're going to get on the wall and you're going to push right here. Now, isometrics has one drawback, and that is you only strengthen the exact position that you're in. For example, if I'm doing a curl, my entire arm is getting strong from point A to point B. Whereas in isometric, it would be strong here, but then I'd have to do it here again, and then here again. So with an isometric posture, you'd always break it down into 3 sections. So let's say, for example, if I'm going to do a punch, let's say the Wing Chun punch, the Jek Chun Choi. If I start with my fist here, once again I would get on the wall and push close. Then I would hold it for about a 10 count in the middle, and then about a 10 count almost all the way locked out. Then I've covered all 3 positions. Now if you have a squat rack, you can turn this into an isometric rack by pulling your bar out. You put this bar at any position you want. We found out in trapping range, which is the range we like to specialize in, shoulder and forearm strength is very important. One very good exercise for the forearm, I'm just going to give you a few exercises, mainly I want you to get the principle, is you put this right at your own forearm level. Put your arm under it, and you're pulling up. You want to hold it for a count of 10. Once again, you want to work different angles. Now what we like to do is we would like to work what we call specificity, which is working the exact angle for the exact martial art technique. So what I'm going to do for that, Mark, let me borrow you. If you're interested in Wing Chun, let's say you want to develop your lop style, which is the pulling hand, what you do is you get into a lop style position. Then you just lock it out from here, and we both pull. And we're pulling as hard as we can from this position for about 10 seconds. Then we switch to the left, and we do the same thing. This is the lop style. What you're working here is this forearm muscle. Now if you want to work your shoulders, Mark would get in this position, and I'm going to lift up and out, and you're working your forearms, or your shoulders. Now from this position, I switch it around where my forearms are down, and I'm working his shoulders, and he's going up. Now from this position, say you wanted to work the twisting muscle in the forearm for, let's say, a wrist lock, to have this type of strength. To be able, once again, our concept is to move a body. This is the most important thing. So from this position, we grab our arms, locking out the elbows, and we're twisting as hard as we can. And we do the same thing on the left. These type of exercises don't get you real big. Because once again, you're what I call a sleeper. You're a lot stronger than what you look. So once again, let's review the concept. Isometrics, you hold for 10 seconds. You work all three positions. And the bottom line is any particular exercise you want to do or any particular technique you want to do, you use your imagination to fix yourself in the fixed position, and then you hold it for a 10 count. I'm going to give you one more example. Let's just say the foot sweep. If this is a foot sweep, if I come into this position right here and this is my sweep, this is the muscle I want to use. So for training, we would just lock it out here and hold it. This is now working the inner loin, which is the muscle for our foot sweep. So if you can just take these few examples I've given you and use your imagination, take those principles that you have and develop your own isometric strength.